Yo, RX, back with another recap of UFC Louisville Cannonier versus Imavov. We back with another recap on time. It's actually coming out Sunday, 1 p.m. EST, like I always say it is. I usually don't get it out by that time, but I am getting it out by Sunday, 1 p.m. time. I'm gonna, like I said it in the breakdown. I've been saying it. I want to get the recaps more consistently out, and I'm just starting with this card. So hopefully this leads to more cards coming out, card recaps coming out on time. So, but enough about that. Let's be happy I'm getting this out on time. This card ended pretty early, so that's a huge reason. Pay-per-views, don't expect recaps to be out on time. Those shits don't end until 2 in the morning. But yeah, for this card, it's out on time, so let's enjoy it, and let's recap it. So, yeah, and now to talk about the card in a nutshell. It was good. It was a good card. It's the card we needed after 302. With 302 being such a pathetic joke, we needed a card like this, and it was good. There was definitely flaws with the card, and it was far from perfect. It probably ain't even the best fight night of the year so far. But after 302, this is what we needed, and that's the perfect way to describe it. We needed a card that had finishes, bangers, mainly just finishes, and we got plenty of those here. It was a good card. There's, again, many flaws, but it was, for what it was a good card. So, yeah, not very much else to really say before getting a recap. So, before I get into the nitty gritty, please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs go by the end of 2024. And unless I'm really forgetting to say something before we get into this, which I'm thinking, I don't think I am forgetting anything. Let's recap some fights. You want to? I don't want to recap some of these fights, but I will anyway. So, enough rambling, let's recap. 14 fights in total. Hopefully, knock on every piece of wood you have, as this won't be as long as the breakdown. I don't know if I can talk for another hour and 40 minutes, but I'll try not to, and I'll hope. But you never know, I ramble a lot for the love of the sport. But yeah, there's definitely a very unlikely chance I talk for that long, so yeah. But let's get into the first fight of the night. A fight I will actually talk about a good amount, because I really enjoyed this fight. As we begin in the strawweight division with a fight between Puja Tomar versus Rayanne Amanda. Really fun fight to begin the night. These two went at it. These two really had a fun scrap. In round one, they both had really good moments. Tomar landed some nice shots, but Amanda definitely landed the better shots, especially late in the round. She really turned it on to steal the round. I gave Amanda round one. I think that's the clearest round of the fight for Dos Santos, Amanda, whatever the fuck her name is. Round two, definitely the closest round of the fight, and probably the most important round of the fight for many reasons. Because it was a very even round. You could really score it either way. Amanda landed some nice shots. Tomar landed some nice shots. I gave the round to Tomar. I think she landed a little bit better shots. But I could see how you could give it to Dos Santos. And then in round 3, it was definitely Tomar's best round. She had a nice push kick. I don't want to call it a knockdown, but she did kick Amanda to the ground. She landed some nice shots. She was definitely bringing the action, and I think Tomar got round 3. I scored 29-28 Tomar. The judges had it somehow a 30-27 split both ways, which I think is beyond. I don't even know what to say about that. And judge clearly got it right, huh? But no, Derek clearly, I think, had the best scorecard by a mile, and that's how my scorecard was. And yeah, Puja Tomar makes UFC history, being the first Indian fighter to get a win in the UFC. I'm very happy for her and India in general. They've had a very few fighters in UFC. I know they have Jubilee, who sucks. They probably had a couple other people I'm not thinking of, but yeah, I'm really fucking happy for them. And UFC's plan worked. The Indian market have been opened. They finally have someone who can win a fight from there. And now the floodgates, who knows what can happen. So good for India, good for Puja, Tomar making UFC history like that. And yeah, and a really good fight no less. So, and to talk about the fucking elephant in the room, the shitty scorecards. What the fuck were these two thinking? This dude, I don't even know what the fuck he was smoking. Like 30-27 Amanda is wrong. It's a little more understandable compared to 30-27 Tomar. That was fucking insane. 30-27 either way is beyond stupid, but like which one, if I had to say which one is more possible, I'd definitely say Amanda by 30-27 because there's no way you could give Tomar round 1. So, but yeah, you either score it round 1 and 2 to Dos Santos or round 2 and 3 to Tomar. It was very close. I saw a lot of people crying robbery. I don't get it. It was a really close fight. I think, like I said, 29-28 either way, I'm happy with. I think if this would have went to Amanda, 29-28, sure. Either one could have got the win and it wouldn't have been bad. So, but Tomar did get the win. So I'm not gonna say robbery. I know, because you picked Tomar. No, you'll see later on the card there was a couple close decisions where I agree with the fucking judges. So I will fucking say they did some bullshit in some other fights. So when I get to that, you'll hear about it. But no, yeah, I think the judges got it. I think one judge got it right. The other two were fucking blind. And yeah, very good fight to begin the night. Who do I want to talk? I'll talk about Tomar a little bit more. Tomar was interesting in this fight. She didn't look bad. But she definitely has ginormous problems in her game. When she can't throw her body kicks, she kind of looks lost. Because she had really good kicks. Her kicks were definitely the best part of her skill set. She has really nice body kicks, push kicks to the body. Her body work is very, very good. It is definitely her highest skill set, and when you close the distance on her and she can't throw those kicks, she looks kind of lost in there. Like, her striking ain't terrible, but her hands are not great, and like her leg kicks are fine, her striking is fine, but they're definitely not strong suits. Her body kicks are her strong suit, and again, when you close the distance on her and you get her up against the cage and all that, she kind of looks lost. And better fighters will exploit that, I think, if she doesn't fix that. But but she was lucky in this matchup. Dos Santos is not very good, so she was not really able to exploit that. So Tomar, I do think is a decent fighter. If she can fix the few holes in her game, I definitely think she's a fighter who needed to be on DWCS. Her on the Contender Series would have probably done a lot better for her than just getting signed straight up. But what can you do? She got a fucking win. So she's still green. She's still a green fighter. But if she can knock out a few fucking kicks in her armor, she'd be a pretty decent fighter. She's only 30 years old, still young into her career. We'll see what she can do. I think we got a very intriguing prospect here. No, she's not going to be a champion. No, she's not going to be top 15. But we got a fighter who could win some fights. She at strawweight, she could join that fucking group of unranked fighters like fucking Yasmin Halgui for as right now, Luma Lukbumi. Like I'll say right now, she'll probably beat fighters like Payana Viana and fucking, who else? Diana Belbita, just name a couple veterans off the top of my head. So yeah, I think we got an interesting prospect here, and we'll see if she can improve on what we saw here. Because if she can, I think she can be pretty decent. Because I was kind of impressed. I expected nothing. If anything, I kind of expected a bad fighter from the little I've heard about her. And I saw a pretty good fighter here. So good for Tomar making UFC history. To talk about Amanda on the another side of a weird decision. No, this was not a complete robbery like her debut, but it definitely wasn't. It definitely was a fight she could have won. Like against Alencar, she did win that fight. That was a complete robbery. But in this fight, she left it too close. I think if she did fight a little differently, she could have dominated this fight. If she did get on the inside more, kick her against the cage more, takedowns more, I think she only shot like 2-3 takedowns the whole fight. If she would have been able to bully Tomar more, because she is the bigger fighter, she is... That's bullshit. There's no way Tomar is taller. That's bullshit. I need to see a clip from that fight. I don't think Tomar is taller, but if Amanda was able to do a couple things better, keep her against the cage and close the distance, there's a really good chance she would dominate this fight. But she left the fight too close for comfort, and she can only blame herself for that. She didn't fight bad in this fight. She actually fought pretty good, but she really slowed down after round 1. By round 3, she was kind of tired, and she can only blame herself. She should be 1-1 in the UFC right now, but now she is 0-2, needing a win badly. We'll see what happens. No, she's not going to get cut. If they cut her, that'd be ultimate bullshit. But, we'll see what she can do in her third chance in the octagon. She's going to get a super step down, so we'll see if she can get the win. So, only 29 years old. She has talent. She's just been kind of unlucky, I guess. Like, you fought Denise, Gomes on the Contender Series, unlucky. You got robbed against Alencar, unlucky. And you're on the wrong side of the scorecard against Tomar, unlucky. She's just unlucky. So, same thing Angela Hill was for a while. We'll see if she can get that elusive UFC win, or third and probably final chance, whenever that is later in the year. So, yeah, not very much else to say. And on her birthday, poor fucking Dos Santos, Amanda, whatever. So, yeah. Only thing left to say now is, who should they fight next? I don't know if I'll even find a good fight idea for these two, but I'll try. For Tomar, there's probably a decent idea out there somewhere. Let's see. Marnik Man's not a bad option, but I think Marnik Man should probably get cut. Estela Nunes will probably be coming back sooner than later. That's not a terrible option. Super Melly's right there. Ketlin Souza ain't a terrible option. Even speak of the devil, Alencar wouldn't be too bad of a fight for Tomar. I keep almost saying tumor. It's fucking but yeah, there are some fights for fucking. Oh, I don't hate that Ruiz fight. I know they kept Montserrat Ruiz around. I don't hate that fight for Tomar. If they did, like, I don't hate that fight. It'd be a pretty nice name to get on her belt. Definitely a fight she should win. Yeah, I guess, because I'm pretty sure I saw somehow they re-upped Ruiz's contract for whatever reason. So I don't hate that. I don't hate that fight, Puja versus Montserrat Ruiz. I like it. For right now, I'll say that idea. We'll see what I'm feeling tomorrow when I do fight ideas, which I'll usually tweet out about 5-6 in the afternoon, so EST. So we'll see what happens there. But yeah, I like that. I like that idea. Puja versus Montserrat Ruiz. I don't hate it. And then for Amanda Dos Santos, who knows? She could fight Marnik Man. That'd probably be the easiest fight for her. Like, Marnik Man's trash, so I don't hate that idea. Give Amanda a pretty easy fight if they don't cut Marnik Man. I think they should. But yeah, I'm not really sure what the fuck they're gonna do with Amanda, who they're gonna give her. So I'll say Marnik Man for right now, even though I think Marnik should get cut, but still, I don't know if she will. Again, Estela Nunes will be coming back sooner than later, so you never know what's happening there. But yeah, I don't hate. There's a couple options for Amanda, so let's see which one they give her. But yeah, not very much else to say about this fight. I talked about this fight for way too long, And yeah, who should they fight next? I like Tomar versus Montserrat Ruiz, and I like Amanda versus, I guess, Marquez. Ruiz and Tomar, why not? And a veteran test for Tomar. Yeah, and Ruiz, who's not a great fighter, but I've seen worse. And Amanda versus Marnik. Give Amanda a fucking easy one already, Jesus Christ. Not really much else to say. Good debut for Tomar. I'm happy for her and India as a whole. They get their first UFC win. Good job. History was made. After that, we had to our second fight of the night in the bantamweight division, and not really a lot to say about this fight, because it was one of the most predictable fights on the card, because it went exactly how anyone who knows these two, like I do, it went exactly how anyone expected to go. So yeah, as in our second fight of the night, we had to bantamweight for Taylor Lapilus versus Cody Stamann. Yeah, this fight was predictable and easy. For 15 minutes, Lapilus just dominated Stamann on the feet because Stamann can't strike. I said it in the breakdown, or I said a version of it in the breakdown. If Stamann can't get you down, he's gonna lose. And Lapilus stopped all of Stamann's takedowns outside of like one in round 3, and he won easily. Cody Stamann can't strike. He throws punches like he can. He can't. He's not good. Lapilus just dominated him. 30-27 across the board. I could not agree more. And it's a good win for Taylor Lapilus, man. It was as simple as that. He stopped Stamann's takedown, so he won easily. He's pretty much just fucking practicing his striking for 15 minutes. Stamann really never did anything. Like, he landed a couple punches, none of them were that strong. He shot a lot and got stuffed. He just really didn't do shit. It's one of the easiest fights in Lapilus's career, because he didn't have to do much besides stuff takedowns. Ooh, difficult. So, yeah, just a pretty simple, quick win for Taylor Lapilus. To talk about Lapilus first, not really much to say. Again, it was just a get back on track fight. Like, after the Farid fight, which was a really tough fight, like, the Basharat boys will never be easy fights, and we saw that in that fight. Lapilus looked way better in this fight. He got taken down and controlled by Farid. He was able to stop takedowns here. Yes, Stamann ain't half the fighter of Farid Basharat, but still, Lapilus's takedown defense and all that looked way better here. And he looked great. He looked out like pretty much just great. His striking looked clean. His takedown looked great. He looked great. Simple as that. And Lapilus is still, like, he's 32 years old, and he is one of the better, he's definitely, I would say, top 30, maybe top 25 bantamweights right now, man. He's good. He's definitely a dude who, if he was in the top 15, he wouldn't stick out like a Thor or something. He would fit in. He's really talented. Like I said in the breakdown, it's a shame we didn't get to see him in the UFC for all those years when he was away. This dude is really good. And I'm very intrigued to see how he continues his second UFC run. 2-1 right now. A lot of options for him. Let's see what they do, man. He coming off a win versus a veteran like Stamann. He deserves another big fight. Let's see if he gets it. He'll probably be on the Paris card in September or some bullshit. Oh, we'll see how he does. We'll see how he does there and who he'll be fighting. And then for Stamann, like, not very much to say. I've never been high on Stamann, and you see why. He's not good. If he can't take you down and win, he can't win. Simple as that. He can't fucking strike. He has never been good, and he'll never be good, because he is not good. He's the worst fighter named Cody at 135. Yes, Cody Garbrandt is better. Because he can actually fight. He doesn't need takedowns. Dare. Only thing left to say for this fight is, who should I fight next? For Taylor Lapilus, there's a lot of options. Again, he does deserve another big fight after a really nice win here. But who? Who could he fight? Daniel Santos would be a really fun fight. Imagine him and Marcus McGee, Jesus Christ. He could go after Javid. I don't hate him and David Grant. Someone did bring that idea up, but David should fight Cody Garbrandt. Ione Barcelos would be really intriguing. That'd be a really fun fight. Even Ayman Sahabi would be a really entertaining fight. Adrian Yanez would be a really intriguing fight. Chris Gutierrez would be a really intriguing fight. There's a lot of good options. I really like either one of these two. I think Lapilus versus Ayman or Ione would be really entertaining. Either those two, or again Victor Henry would work. Adrian Yanez would work. Chris Gutierrez would work. There's a lot of good options here for Lapilus, and just like it's stupid how good bantamweight is. It's actually fucking insane how good bantamweight is. But yeah, I don't know really who he should fight, but there's so many good options, so I'll really have to think about. I'm gonna really have to think about that. But he'll definitely be part of my fight ideas tweet tomorrow, because there's so many good options. It's for once it's less who should he fight, and like that, the reason being like it's hard to find someone, and it's less. And that's usually the case of bantamweight. It's hard to find someone for him to fight because there are so many good options. So yeah, Lapilus versus any of these guys. Barcelos, Sahabi, Henry, Yanez, Gutierrez would all be really great fights that I would be down to see. In Paris, no less. I'm down to see any of them. And for Cody Stamann, I don't care. Next. Not very much else to say here. Really good win for Taylor Lapilus. Looked good. Could not look much better. He stopped the takedowns and got an easy win. And got back on track. So, who should he fight next? There's so many good options. Right now, I'm not really sure who the answer is to that question of who should he fight next, but tomorrow I'll know the answer. For right now, I'll just say, let's wait and see who they give him in Paris. I'm intrigued. The crowd's gonna be hyped for that fight, like always, so see what happens. Really good win for Lapilus. Clean sweep on the scorecards, and a clean sweep in the cage. Good win for Lapilus. After that, we head to our third fight of the night, going back to the strawweight division, as we had an upset. An upset and a very intriguing fight, as we have Denise Gomes versus Eduarda Moura. Yeah, we had a pretty big upset here. In a way, like to an extent it was an upset, but at the same time I'm not very shocked, especially with what happened outside of the fight before it. So yeah, this is a pretty intriguing fight, and a pretty good one at that. So actually, no, I'm lying. This fight was not great, but it was okay. It was okay. But to talk about what happened in round one, we had Eduarda tried to take down Gomes immediately and got her head stuck in a guillotine for about like a minute, it felt like, and Gomes almost did submit her, but Eduarda did escape. And then they did some grappling. Gomes actually held up really good on the ground. Eventually, Eduarda did Eduarda did get her down, but Gomes did get up. Denise landed a beautiful clean uppercut that made Eduarda shoot again, and that was pretty much round one. Clear round for Gomes, in my opinion. Round two, Eduarda tried to do more wrestling, but she looked very tired. She was kind of just trying to wear on Gomes, and it didn't work. She almost got a submission, if I remember. It was round two where she got on her back, but no luck there. Gomes was able to end up on top a lot, land better shots and all that, and I think another clear round for Denise Gomes. And then round three, both were very tired, and I think this was the best round of the fight for Eduarda. I think she's getting takedowns a lot. I think she got like 2 or 3 takedowns this round. Both were very tired. And it was a pretty uneventful round 3. It really didn't matter who won that round because Eduarda needed a finish that she did not get, so the fight was pretty much over. I gave that round to Eduarda, but you could give it either way. It did not really matter. And Denise Gomes on 2 scorecards get the W. I don't know what Chris Kinman was watching. I don't know how you could give Eduarda any round besides round 3, and even that's, I guess you're being a little generous. But yeah, clear win for Denise Gomes, and she takes another O. Really intriguing. The main takeaways from this fight are the biggest takeaway from this fight is Eduarda needs to move up to flyweight. She missed weight again, like she did in her debut, and she's not a strawweight. She's trying to be a weight bully, and it's failing. She's not making weight, and the weight cut is so devastating, and you can tell she's super gassed by fucking round 2 because she has to cut so much weight. Just go up to flyweight. It's the smartest career move you can make. You tried the strawweight run. It worked a little bit, but could only work for so long. You gotta go up to flyweight. And I'll talk about Eduarda first, I guess. You have to go up to flyweight. You're 5'6", and you can't make strawweight. Go up to flyweight. Fucking go into a fight actually fucking healthy and like hydrated, not fucking half dehydrated, fucking skinny ass shit. Go into a fight healthy and ready to fight. It would be the fucking best thing for her, because Eduarda is talented, I think. Her striking has much to be desired, but her ground game's really good. She's a very big fucking female. She's very fucking tall and lengthy. She has a good ground game. Her gas tank, I think, is mainly trash because she's cutting so much weight. I would really be interested to see her at flyweight, and I really hope she does move up. I think it's the smartest career path for her. Like, what's the point of going back to strawweight for a shitty weight cut that you're not good at, and a fucking what? I think she's already hit her ceiling at strawweight with the weight cut, and she's only 30 years. She's already 30 years old, so she doesn't have a lot of time to fuck around and play a guessing game. I feel like she has to go up to flyweight now before it's too late and it's meaningless. So I'm not gonna call Eduarda a fraud. I don't know if anyone has. I'm not racing anyone talk about this fight because it was kind of bad. But I don't think she's a fraud yet. I think she is a talented fighter that's just trying to do too much, if that makes sense. So go up to flyweight and let's see what you can do there. Her at flyweight will really show how good she really is, because I don't think she's able to do that at strawweight with that weight cut. So let's see her at flyweight. And then for Denise Gomes, what a fucking win, and another great fucking feather in her cap. Like, if you look at her 3 UFC wins, they're all against prospects people thought she would lose to. Brunno Brazil, a hyped up prospect coming off Contender Series in her debut, she got fucking ran through by Denise. Yasmin Halgui, whose hype train was insane and still is to an extent, she got KO'd in 20 seconds. Eduarda Moura, a really good, undefeated, lengthy, tall fighter, got fucking beat. Denise Gomes is really good. Like, and her only 2 losses are to 2 fighters that are either ranked or should be ranked in Angie and Luma. Like, when your only 2 losses are Luma Lookboonmee and Angela Hill, like, Jesus. Like, Denise Gomes' fucking strength of schedule has been insane. Luma Lookboonmee, Brunno Brazil, Yasmin Halgui, Angela Hill, and Eduarda Moura. Like, when the weakest fight you've had is Brunno Brazil, who, yeah, she's not great, but still, that's a very, at 24 years old, no less. Like, Denise is good. She's definitely a good fighter. We're going to be hearing that name for a long time, especially at strawweight. Only 24 years old and she's already this good. She's a ranked level fighter right now. Like, she's good. And I'm really intrigued to see how she continues to get better. I think her ground game got a lot better in this fight. Like, this is not the same Denise Gomes we saw fight Luma Lookboonmee. Her ground game looked really improved here, and I'm very intrigued to see how she continues to improve as a fighter. 24 years old, it's already interesting to see how in 2 years she's already improved to the level of beating a really good grappler like Eduarda, after losing to a really good grappler very badly in Lumilupumi. So Denise is good, man. She has fucking power in her hands. She has good cardio. She has good fucking striking. Her ground game's getting better. She's becoming a very interesting fighter at strawweight, and give it time till you see a fucking number next to her name, man. She is good. She's really good, and I'm very intrigued to see how she continues her UFC run for a while. Like, now she's knocked off 2 prospects. She has 2 fucking O's under her name, not taking the O of Eduarda and Yasmin, and she's becoming a prospect killer to an extent. So she's good, man. She's really fucking good, and I'm very excited to see what's next for her. Don't give her another prospect, man. They're not going to survive. But yeah, not very much else to say about this fight. Besides, who should they fight next? For Denise Gomes, she deserves a good fight. I don't know if a ranked fight, since she did just lose to Angela Hill, but she deserves a pretty good fight. Like, Karolina Kowalkiewicz just got knocked out to rankings. I don't hate that fight. Let's see where they got her ranked. I don't know if these have been updated, but 21st, okay. No one I'm really seeing in this fucking area. Like, I really don't get why she'd fight any of these people. Like, and down here are just fucking prospects or cans. Though more, we're looking in this area. She's already fought Yasmin. Asmin makes no sense. Luma, nah. I don't hate a Karolina Kowalkiewicz fight. Or even Tisha Pennington wouldn't be a terrible fight. Like, either one of these two wouldn't not be bad. Neither of them are ranked. Again, I don't know if Denise deserves a ranking fight right now. She did just lose to Angela Hill, so... But yeah, her versus Karolina or Tisha would work very well. If you want to do her and Aspen Lucindo, I won't say no, but I don't know how much sense that would make. Or even Luana Pinheiro. Not really sure who else she would fight though, outside of that. So yeah, I'm down to see her fight Karolina or Tisha. I think either one of those fights make a lot of sense. So let's see which one they do, if they do either. So I'm not really sure which one I'm liking more. I'd really have to look into both and see which one is better. But yeah, not very much else to... So I'm leaning Karolina, but we'll see what happens. And then for Eduarda, go up to flyweight and see what happens. I can't really give her a fight idea because I don't know if she's even gonna really move up to flyweight. She should. But if she doesn't, then oh Christ, I'm gonna be worried. So whatever. Really underwhelming fight for my favorite fight on the card going into it, but it was an interesting fight, a very telling fight for both fighters, and it was a fight that'll make both better. And only thing left to say now is who should they fight next? For Denise Gomes, I'll say Karolina Kowalkiewicz. I think that's a very fun fight. And for Eduarda Moura, go up to flyweight. I think Gomes and Karolina, good fight. Eduarda, do what's best for your career, and that's flyweight. So yeah, not very much else to say. Good win for Denise Gomes, the prospect killer at strawweight apparently. And let's see what these two do next. After that, we head back to bantamweight for a fight that was not very... It was not great, but it was a decent fight nonetheless. Not really going to say much here because it's kind of just a domination. As we have in our first fight of the night, Daniel Marcos versus John Castañeda. Yeah, my long shot pick here did not work very well. My two long shot picks, I would say, were Castañeda and Tomar. This one didn't work. Tomar worked great. This one ate shit badly. So, yeah, great pick, RX. Yeah, this fight was domination. A lot like the Lapilus fight. It was just a pure domination. For 15 minutes, Marcos was just the better fighter. Round 1, he bullied Castañeda. He pushed him against the cage, beat him up, landed the better shots, and just dominated him. Round 2, much of the same. He fucking just bullied him some more. And then it was like, Castañeda did get a takedown late in the round, but it was like 30 seconds. So unless you're Dracus Duplessis, that means nothing. And then in round 3, the closest round of the fight, Marcos did drop Castañeda about halfway point, maybe a little over the halfway point, with a beautiful, powerful right hand. And then with about 15 seconds left, Castañeda threw a head kick that did graze the temple of Marcos. Really did hurt him bad. And Marcos did run away. For some reason, Castañeda barely chased him. He was pretty much jogging over to him in a fight he needed a finish in. And Marcos did survive that scary moment to get a clear 30-27 across the board. Really never in any danger outside the last 15 seconds of the third round. And Daniel Marcos keeps his undefeated record and beats a very good veteran, John Castañeda. Marcos I definitely have to talk about first, because he shut me up real quick. This is not the same guy we saw. This is not the same guy we saw fight Davy Grant. He's improved in a year. Like, this was not the guy that fought Davy Grant. If this guy would have fought Davy Grant, he probably would have beaten him even actually pretty easily. But this is definitely a more improved Daniel Marcos, a dude who looked really, really good. Like, against the toughest fight of his career so far, the biggest fight of his career so far, and he passed with flying colors. He's improved, which is what I think this fight needed to show that he has improved as a fighter, and it did. We saw a better, more improved Daniel Marcos. His cardio looked better, his striking looked great, his takedown defense looked really solid outside of one takedown he gave up. He looked really good here, and I'm very impressed. As someone who predicted him to lose, he looked really fucking good, and he really shut me up quickly. So, great win for Daniel Marcos against a tough veteran like Castañeda, no less. So, 31 years old, looking like a great fucking prospect in the bantamweight division. He has no time to waste. Great win for Marcos, man. Just looked really, really he looked like a bully in there. He looked fucking dominant. Great performance, just simple as that. Against a tough dude like John Castañeda. Like, and to talk about Castañeda, like, you don't dominate John Castañeda. He did. Like, he joined the very rare group of people who have dominated Castañeda. Fucking Nathaniel Wood, Daniel Santos, and now Marcos. And that's a really good group of fighters. And like, if you're Castañeda, you can't even be upset. You're losing to really good fighters, and you're being able to beat these pretty. Like, outside Miles Johns, that's definitely the best fighter he was able to beat. He's losing to really good fighters. So Castañeda just never really got out the blocks in this fight. I feel like he was always just on, like, gear 1. He never fucking got better as the fight went on. He never, like, he was just getting bullied all fight. I feel like he really didn't know what to do. So, it just seems like he was a little bit lost in there if anything. So, like, he didn't look terrible, but he just didn't look like John Castañeda we've seen in bangers with Santos or Miles Johns or Eddie Wineland, etc. He just never really got out the blocks in this fight, and it was weird to see, because Castañeda usually is a very tough, fun fighter, and he kind of just got bullied here. So, not really what I expected to see here, but what can you do, man? To dominate John Castañeda like that is impressive. So, really good one for Daniel Marcos. Only thing left to say now is, who should they fight next? For Daniel Marcos, a lot of good options, just like for Taylor Lapilus. You could give him a ranking fight or something close to that. He definitely should get a pretty nice fight. Him and Adrian Yanez would be very intriguing, to be honest. Him and Chris Gutierrez would be very interesting. Him and Pedro Munoz would be very interesting. I don't mind him and Gutierrez. I think that's a very intriguing fight. Gutierrez coming off a loss to Song Yadong last year in the main event. I don't hate it. I don't hate him and Chris Gutierrez. I think that's a very entertaining fight. I think that'd be a very good fight for Marcos, since Gutierrez was just a ranked fighter. I don't know if you give Marcos a ranked fight. I don't know who you'd even give him. I think the only guy you could really give him is Pedro Munoz, and I think that should be Adrian Yanez's fight. I saw a couple people say Jonathan Martinez and Daniel Marcos. I like it, but is that really the best fight for fucking Martinez? I don't know. But I like Marcos versus Chris Gutierrez. I think that's a very fun fight, very tough fight for Marcos, a very wise veteran like Gutierrez. I'm down to see it, so right now, that's what I'm feeling. So I'm going to say, let's go Daniel Marcos and Chris Gutierrez. Sounds like a banger to me. Let's do it. And then for John Castañeda, he's a veteran. He'll get back he'll get back to the drawing board. A lot of people he could fight. McGee, Altong Haley, Damon Blackshear, even he could test Julian Nakamura, etc., etc. So there are many people he could fight. We'll see what they do with him. He's been here before. We'll see what he does. Simple as that. Only thing left to say is really good fight by Marcos, really great performance by Marcos, and really showing he is legit. Like, we really didn't know if he was after that Grant fight. He's legit, so he shut me up. So good job, Marcos. Who should they fight next? I'd like to see Daniel Marcos versus Chris Gutierrez, and for Castañeda, we'll see what they do. Really no fight idea for him, but yeah. I'm really down to see Marcos and Gutierrez, so let's do it. Great performance, shutting me up like most fighters do. Congrats. After that, we head to women's flyweight, a weight class we were talking about earlier, for a pointless rematch that actually did go differently though, so maybe it wasn't the most pointless fight in the world. And another upset, I would say, which is not something I was expecting in this fight, but that's what happened. And in our fifth fight of the night, we have Montana de la Rosa versus Andrea Lee 2. Because again, it's a rematch from 2019. And this fight could not went any differently from the fight in 2019. So, wow. Yeah, let's get right into it. In round 1, Lee was just a better fighter. She looked way better. Striking, ground game looked really good. She really, like, after round 1, I think a lot of people, at least me, saw, oh yeah, this fight's just gonna be like the first fight. But in round 2, De La Rosa came out and looked fucking flawless on the feet. She was just able to hit Lee at will. Lee really had no answers for De La Rosa's striking, and Montana just looked really fucking good. Making it 1-1 going into the third. De La Rosa, much of the same. Her striking was better, her ground game was better, she looked fresher. She just was the better fighter, and Montana De La Rosa, after 15 minutes, got a win. Somehow it was a split decision. That was complete bullshit. Clear 29-28 De La Rosa. And she got back on track, getting revenge on Andrea Lee from 5 years ago, and keeping her job. Not at all what I expected. Who do I talk about? I think I gotta talk about Montana De La Rosa first. As a fighter who I have shit on a lot in the past, because I don't think she's a good fighter, this is the best I've ever seen her look. Like probably even the Lipski fight at that time wasn't that impressive, because Lipski was kind of a joke in 2021. So, like, this is the best I've seen her look and ever. So, like, she looked amazing in this fight. Like, she got off that stool going into round 2 and just became a different fighter. She looked angry, she looked hungry, and she got it. She went out there and got it, man. Her striking looked crisp as fuck. Her ground game looked good. Her cardio looked good. She looked fucking great. And I can't believe I'm saying that about Montana De La Rosa, of all people, who not even a year ago was losing to JJ Aldrich dominantly. So, or Macy Barber 2 years ago was just cuddling her against a cage. So, very impressive. Like, I can't believe I'm actually saying I'm impressed by Montana De La Rosa, but I am. That was a really, just was the best performance in a while from her. And again, maybe the best I've ever seen her look. And, like, she's only 29 years old, so is this a new De La Rosa we're seeing? We saw Lipsky make a fucking career resurgence. Veronica Hardy is the primest example of a career resurgence. Is this gonna be a career resurgence for Montana De La Rosa? Maybe. Very fucking possible. So, if so, if we could see this De La Rosa more often, I won't complain, because this De La Rosa looked great. And I'm impressed. I am very impressed. So, see if she can continue. Let's see if she can build on top of this great performance. To talk about her opponent, Andrea Lee, someone I'm very disappointed in at this point. What happened in general, let alone in this fight? What happened in between round 1 and 2? Like, like, De La Rosa changed into a great fighter and looked fucking angry and all that. Andrea Lee just looked like she was on fucking passive mode. She looked shitty after round 1. Did she just fucking, I don't know what happened. Like, she fucking just fell asleep at the wheel. She didn't really do anything after round 1, and she can only blame herself for this loss. And why she's getting cut now. I don't know how. 5 L's in a row. I only think it's 3. But even if she did win that Barber fight, she's 1-4 in her last 5. So, and she just lost to Montana De La Rosa, someone who didn't win a fight since 2021. So, and she's 35 years old. She's done. I don't know how she gets another UFC fight. And I don't dislike Andrea Lee. I think she is a decent fighter. She's always shown a little bit of talent, even in her losses. But at this point in her career, at 35 years old, she's clearly just lost it. She's clearly just lost a step. Like, losing to Natalia Silva and Miranda Maverick, very understandable. I can't really shit on those losses. Those are 2 ranked fighters. Montana De La Rosa in 2024 you're losing to? And you actually looked really good in round 1? I don't get it. But that's probably the last time we see KGB in the UFC. A run that started in 2018, ends in 2024. I'd be shocked. Speaking of the devil, she beat Veronica Hardy in her debut. I'd be amazed if they gave her another fight. I don't know how you can. I think it's time to cut her. Where will she go? Probably Invicta, maybe PFL. I think she'll do good over there in PFL or Invicta, but she's not UFC caliber anymore, and I think it's for the best that she does get cut. So, if she does get cut, which again I'd be shocked if she didn't, good luck wherever you go. I don't, like, people don't dislike Andrea Lee, they dislike Tony Kelly, so I don't have any beef with fucking Andrea. Good luck wherever you sign to next. Yeah, put on a couple good fights, but just never really put it all together consistently, so yeah. Only thing I have to say is, who should Montana fight next? I won't waste a lot of time trying to find a fight idea. If it doesn't come to mind quickly, I won't really fucking push the case. I think you could give her a pretty good fight after this, though. Because, again, she looked really good. So, you could give her a decent fight. Damn. Flyweight is so weird right now. Everyone's booked or fucking injured. Lauren Murphy might be coming back sooner than later. Damn. Flyweight is so fucking weird. Yeah, I'm not seeing much right now. Outside of Lauren Murphy, depending on whenever she comes back, you could do that fight. I don't know what else you can do with her, so I'll look again tomorrow. She might be part of Fight Ideas, no idea. But for right now, I'm not getting a fight idea. That's really jumping out at me, so we'll see if I can find a better one tomorrow. But that's tomorrow. Tonight, I'm not seeing much, so. But Great win for Montana De La Rosa. Really impressed me. Really, which again, I never thought I would say that about a Montana De La Rosa performance, but she looked great. Gotta give her flowers, and she earned it, man. So, great win for Montana De La Rosa. Looked great, and sent Andrea Lee packing out to UFC. Yeah, they're 1-1, but we ain't getting that trilogy anytime soon, so yeah. Great win for Montana De La Rosa. Maybe I'll have a fight idea tomorrow. Either way, again, great win. After that, not gonna waste much time on this fight, because I frankly don't give a damn. As we head back to bantamweight for the third time on the prelims, and this was definitely the worst fight of the three. As we have Katona versus Jesse Butler. Yeah, I predicted this fight flawlessly. Katona just took him down and dominated him. No fucking surprise here. That was pure domination. Takedown in round 1, takedown in round 2, takedown in round 3. Katona wins his first non-tough fight since, 2017? And he looked good, but it was against Jesse Butler. Yeah, not much value in that win. Not gonna say much. I don't care who Katona fights next. This video is already long enough. I'm not wasting time looking into a Katona fight idea. And Jesse Butler, get that bitch ass cut. You suck. So, yeah, not gonna waste much time on this. Good performance by Katona, but it was against maybe the shittiest bantamweight on the roster, and bantamweight in quotation marks, because he's not a bantamweight. You're 5'10". But, yeah, not very much else to say. Good win for Katona, pure domination, predicted that perfectly. And, yeah, people were really telling me Butler could win. Like, on Twitter, people were saying that. No, he couldn't. Good win for Katona. I'm shocked he didn't have this fight on 303, because Connor didn't pull enough strings to get that to happen, so, yeah. Whatever. After that, we had to our 6th fight of the night. Our 7th fight of the night. Right? 7th or 6th? I think 7th. 7th fight of the night, and our first finish, our first KO with the new gloves. It wasn't, it was a body shot, but still, KO's a KO, as we head to welterweight for a fight that finally gave us a finish between Carlos Prates versus Charles Radtke. I'm not shocked we got a finish in this fight. I think this fight kinda fucking promised a finish, and a finish is what we got, so very happy to say that. Not very much to say about the fight. It was a 1-round fight, and in that round they both traded some nice shots. Prates was definitely using his range very well, really timing Radtke's shots pretty well, landing some good knees and some good shots. Radtke was getting on the inside and landing a little bit, but definitely not enough to really affect Prates. And then eventually, late into the first round, Prates uncorked a fucking knee from hell perfectly on Radtke's liver, sent him down immediately. Prates just walked off, and it was over. Carlos Prates by body shot TKO in the first round. This kid's good. This kid's good, and thank God someone finally got a finish on the prelims, and the only one, and it was a vicious one. So good shit, Prates. Very impressed. Very impressed. You don't see many walk-off body finishes, but Prates did it, so let's talk about him first. Prates, now 2-0 in UFC, coming off now 2 really nice knockouts, and unlike the Trevin Giles fight, he looked great in this fight. He didn't fucking look bad. And this was a step up from Giles, and he looked even better. So I feel like that Giles fight was kind of just proven to be debut jitters, which is fine. It makes sense. And now we're really seeing Carlos Prates at his best, and this kid at his best is really fucking good. He's really tall. He's really good at using his reach. He has good power. He's good. And he's really going to be a problem for guys at 170 being as big and as good as he is. So, let's see what he can do, man. I think Prates is definitely one of the more interesting names at welterweight right now, and I'm very intrigued to see how far he can go. He's only 30 years old. He's very talented. Let's see what he can do, man. It's part of that Fighting Nerds gym, which is very good. Let's see if they can. Let's see if he can fucking how far he can go at welterweight. He's definitely joining that class of Brian Battle. Couple other people, just really Michael Morales, really solid prospects in that division. So let's see if he can continue. And then for Charles Radtke, not very much to say. He fought a really good fighter. He's not fighting Gilbert Urbina and Blood Diamond anymore, so I don't think Radtke is a bad fighter, though. I think he'll be in the UFC for a hot minute, because he can beat these bad fighters. It's just they finally gave him a tough fight and he lost, so yeah, not very much else to say. He'll be back. They'll probably give him a pretty a lower level fight. He'll probably win, because he's not a bad fighter. He's just, again, Carlos Prates is really good, so he'll probably be back to fighting the Blood Diamond level fighters. Well, actually, you can't get much worse than Blood Diamond. The Gilbert Urbina level fighters sooner than later. So, yeah. Not very much else to say there. Only thing left to say now for Carlos Prates, at least, is who should he fight next. Not gonna give Radtke a fight idea, because like I said, he'll be fighting someone pretty shitty. But for Prates, there's some good fights out there for him. There's some pretty good fights out there for him. He wants to go to Australia, if I remember correctly, so we could probably make that work. Who would like to make a trip to Australia to fight Carlos Prates? I really don't know if he's ready or if he really deserves like a fight up here yet with Matthews, Jeremiah Wells, Carlston Harris, Max Griffin. If they did give him one of those fights, I wouldn't complain, but I don't know if he's really deserving or ready for that yet. But maybe. I'm not seeing much better, so yeah, and those matchups are really intriguing. Him and fucking Carlston Harris, him and fucking Jake Matthews or Max Griffin would be really intriguing fights. So I'm not opposed to those ideas. Just I don't know if he's ready or really deserving of those fights yet. So I don't know. I'm really intrigued. I don't know if I have a fight idea for Prates right now. There's a lot of good options. I just don't know if I'm seeing any of them jump out at me right now, so I guess he's a wait and see. Maybe I'll, just like De La Rosa, maybe I'll have something for him tomorrow, but right now nothing is fucking saying this is the fight to make, and if nothing is giving me that vibe of this the fight to make, I'm not gonna say it, so yeah. And then for like said Radtke, he'll fight some shitty like fucking, I don't know, Kanan Song or whatever, so yeah, not really much else to say. Great performance by Prates, finally giving us a finish. And who should they fight next? No idea for either, sadly. But yeah, Prates is a really scary prospect in that division. So, welterweight, you have a problem. And to end the prelims, we head to lightweight for a fight that was pretty one-sided and pretty predictable, but it was not bad. As in our featured prelim, we have Ľudovít Klein versus Thiago Moisés. For 15 minutes, Klein was just a dominating striker, to be honest, as we predicted him to be. In round 1 and 2, in round 1, Klein was landing a lot of nice shots on Moisés, kicks, etc. Late into the round, he landed a left that really hurt Moisés, sent him to the ground, almost finished him, but Moisés did survive. Then round 2, definitely the most relaxed round of the fight. Klein was pretty much just picking him apart. Yeah, not really. I'm trying to think of it. Did anything crazy happen in round 2? Not that I remember. And then in round 3, about the same. Late into the round, he did land a body shot that sent Moisés down. Almost finished him, but Moisés did survive. And Klein walked away with 30-27 across the board to continue his winning streak to, 5? So, yeah, really solid performance by Klein, and pretty much what a lot of us expected. It was striker versus grappler, and Klein was definitely the striker, and he showed it. So, and his striking's good, man. His striking looked really good here against a veteran like Moisés, and he proved why he was the striker in this matchup. So, and he almost finished him twice. Fucking the knockdown in round 1 and the body shot in round 3. Moisés gets lucky he survived those. So, yeah. To continue talking about Klein a little bit, this dude's really improved as a fighter, really has proven me wrong over time, and ever since moving up to lightweight, 5-0-1, now having names like Ignacio Bahamondes and Thiago Moisés under your belt, those are some strong ass wins, and really wins you gotta be proud of. So yeah, I can't really say much else, man. Klein's good. Klein is a really good prospect. I don't know if you even want to call him a prospect anymore. I think he's a pretty good, proven fighter, and he's gonna be a problem at lightweight. His striking's really solid. His ground game, his takedown defense is really good. His cardio looks great. He's a really dangerous fighter at lightweight. He's gonna be a really tough guy to beat. So now on a 5-fight winning streak. Let's see what he can do, man. Now, again, to beat Ignacio Bahamondes and Thiago Moisés in your 2 of your last 3 fights, you're good. You're pretty good. And talk about Thiago Moisés, not very much to say. He's lost before. He loses to better fighters. Simple as that. He'll always beat these low-level guys like Mitch Ramirez and Christoph Giagos. But he really can't get over the hump of these really good fighters. So he'll be back. He'll bounce back in some way. And yeah, not very much else to say. Only thing left to say now is who should they fight next as we hit the hour mark in the video. For Ľudovít Klein, who could he fight? He's on. You could give him a ranking fight at this point. 5 in a row. You could easily give him a ranking fight. But if not, who could you have him fight? You could rebook him and Joel Alvarez. I would not be opposed to that idea. Matt Frivola kind of needs a fight booked. I think. I don't know if he has one booked right now. Or if you want to go into the rankings, you have... Let's see, really nobody. Everyone in the lower rankings are booked or gonna be booked soon. So, yeah, Matt Frivola might be his best chance at a ranking fight. Grant Dawson's right there, but who cares? Diego Ferreira would be very, very fun. Like, there's a lot of options here. I'm not sure. There's a lot of fucking options. I'm really intrigued to see which option they give him. Like, again, Frivola is not, like, I feel like any one of these guys would be a good option. So, if they book any of these fights for Ľudovít, I'm happy. I think they make a lot of sense. And let's see it. So, yeah, not very much else to say. Not really gonna ramble on about a fight idea when I don't have it, because we're already an hour in and we're not even on the main card. So yeah, not very much else to say. Good performance by Ľudovít. No fight idea for Thiago. He'll bounce back and fight somebody. Yes, I am trying to kind of get to the end of this video sooner than later, because I don't want to talk for an hour and a half about a fucking recap. So, but yeah. Good win for Ľudovít Klein, really showing that how much really shown how much he's improved as a fighter, and he's only 29 years old, so he has a lot of time to still do some damage at lightweight, and we'll see what he does next. He has a lot of good options on his fucking plate, like Frivola, Diego, Alvarez, etc. So we'll see which one they give him. And for Thiago, like I said, he'll bounce back like he always has. Pretty good fight to end the prelims, and a really good performance by Ľudovít Klein. So 1 hour in, those were the prelims. They were good. Started off with a banger. This was okay. This was okay. This was okay. This was a pretty bad fight, to be honest, but De La Rosa looked great. This was terrible. This was great, and this was good. So, really outside the Katona and De La Rosa fight, I don't think any of the fights were bad. So, yeah, pretty decent prelims. And now, after a pretty decent prelims, we head to a pretty decent main card. So, let's get right into it. Too bad we don't start with a decent main card opener. We actually start with a pretty boring shit fight that I'm not going to waste much time on, because an hour and 4 minutes in, no, I'm not fucking wasting time on this fight. As we begin the main card at welterweight with a fight between Punahele Soriano versus Miguel Baeza. Can versus can, and a can won. To get down to the nitty gritty pretty quickly, it was pure domination. Round 1, Baeza did come out landing some nice shots, but eventually it did go to the ground. I forget how. I think Puna did shoot the takedown. Got to the ground. Baeza did get really deep on a leg lock, but he didn't get it. He took a lot of punches in the process. And yeah, he got dominated most of round 1, but it was the closest round of the fight. And then for round 2 and 3, he just got taken down and mauled by Puna. Puna broke the record for most ground strikes or some shit. So, yeah, it was just pure domination. And 30-25, 30-26, whatever. Pure domination. Boring fight. Super boring fight, but pure domination. Simple, like, I don't know. I'll talk about Baeza in a second, but yeah, pure domination. To talk about Puna, now his name's in record books. Good for him. I would say I'm happy he did finally show something besides just power, but the fight was super boring, so no. Whatever. He keeps his job, gets a win, and I guess he's found his new home at welterweight. We'll see what he can do next, because I'm not. If Puna's gonna be a boring fighter now, then fuck him. He sucks. The reason a lot of people like Puna is because he's a fun fighter who lived by the sword, died by the sword. But now if he's going to fucking sleep on the sword, then no one cares. So don't be a bitch in your next fight and actually fight, dude. Don't come out and be a fucking wrestler again. No one wants to see that shit. We want to see you either knock someone out or get knocked out, pussy. So do it. Don't be boring. That being boring is worse than being a bad fighter. I don't care what anyone says. And then for Miguel Baeza, he had a nice UFC run, but it is definitely over now. 4 L's in a row, and this is the worst performance he had. Yeah, I get it was off a 2-year break, but still. I don't know what the fuck his game plan was. You're not Charles Oliveira. Why are you fucking relying on fucking throwing up a submission? You went for a fucking knee bar, or ankle lock, whatever the fuck, and failed. You went for arm bars, that failed. You went for a guillotine and failed. I don't know what the fuck his game plan was. He never trained takedown defense, clearly, or get up game, because he never could get up. So yeah, Baeza, that Ponzinibbio fight broke him, and he was a nice prospect, but now he's on the chopping block and he'll be in Bellator. So it was a nice run while it lasted. Had some bangers. Gonna go down in history because we're all gonna remember this fight. But after this fight, it went downhill. So he had some nice moments, but it's definitely over now. So not very much else to say. No fight idea for either, because Puna doesn't deserve it after that performance, and Baeza is getting cut. So yeah, not very much else to say. Pretty boring fight to open the main card, which I'm quite shocked I'm saying when you had these two in it. But he wanted to be a boring bitch today, so it happens. Not very much else to say. Boring main card opener. After that, this is when the main card really started, because this is when the crazy shit started happening. As in our second fight of the night, we head to middleweight for a very quick, easy fight, as we had Zach Reese versus Julian Marquez. Well, I don't have to break down recap much of this. The fight started. They did a little bit of striking. Eventually, Reese backed up Marquez, threw a perfect uppercut, and knocked him out. 20 seconds. That is what we want. We don't want boring shit. We don't want boring wrestling. We don't want fucking point fighters. We want finishes, and that's a finish. He chased him down, threw an uppercut, and knocked him out fucking cold. That's the fights we want. That is what we want. Good job, Zach. Good job. And yeah, that's the recap of this fight. So, talk about each fighter real quick. I'm not gonna give a fight idea, cause do you care who Zach Reese fights next? No. So, me neither. Yeah, for Reese, this is a guy we should have saw against Brundage, and I'm happy we saw him here in a fight he could have won, and I don't want to say he should have won, because I don't think that's true, but this is the guy we should have saw against Brundage, and if this is the Reese we see more often, then I'll take back a lot of what I said, because this guy could be a fun fighter. But if this was a one-time only Julian Marquez is a terrible fighter thing, then I'm not happy. But right now, I'll give Reese his flowers. This was an awesome fight, and an awesome KO, and this really woke the crowd up, and really got the card going. So, good job to Reese. I hope we see this guy more often, not that guy we saw against Brundage. And I'm excited to see him fight again, if he's going to fight like this more often. So, good job. And then for Julian Marquez, I think it's over. That's now 3 in a row, 3 getting KO'd in a row. I don't know how you don't cut him. He's not good. He only fights once a year, and he's not a good fighter. I think he'd be better off going to PFL. He can go do some steroids and fucking have fun over there. I don't think he's a good fighter, and this was definitely his last chance. Definitely the lowest level opponent he's fought in a long time since Sam Alvey, and he lost. So, yeah, I think it's time to cut Marquez. He's had some fun moments. The Miley Cyrus thing will be iconic. He had some fun fights, like the Gregory Rodriguez fight. The Sam Alvey fight was fun. Shit like that, but yeah, I think it's time to go. So, had some fun moments, but I think it's time to see Julian Marquez in a different organization, because he's not very good. So, yeah. But, yeah, not very much else to say. Again, no fight idea, because I don't want to waste any more time on this video. I know I did talk about fucking Montana De La Rosa, but she earned it. She did earn it. But yeah, no fight idea here for Zach Reese. Good chance he'll be in fight ideas tomorrow, but do you really care about hearing me talk about who Zach Reese could fight? No. So, yeah, not very much else to say. Really good performance here by iDubbbz. The joke is he looks like iDubbbz completely. And, yeah, great performance. Fucking, this really started the main card and woke everyone up, which is awesome. So, good job. So, great performance by Reese, and see you around Marquez. About all I can say about a 20-second fight. So, yeah. After that, we head to the third fight of the main card. The easiest fight on the main card to predict, and a fight that I think most were not shocked by the outcome of. And then our third fight of the main card, we had Brunno Ferreira versus Dustin Stoltzfus. Yeah, we stay at middleweight and get another fucking KO. This was a pretty fun fight. I don't know why I'm doing that. The fight didn't go past round 1. The fight started a little slow. Like they did trade a couple punches, but then Stoltzfus did get it on the ground and make it a grappling match. But that didn't last long. Brunno got up. They went back to striking, and eventually, late into round 1, Brunno rocked him, and that was the beginning of the end. He rocked Stoltzfus. He kept hurting him. Landed a spinning elbow in the equation, kept hurting him. He did recover a little bit, but eventually Brunno did land one more spinning elbow. I don't want to. It's not like a spinning elbow, like a who did it? The featherweight who knocked out. Is Ricardo Ramos? It's more like if you've seen John Jones's elbow, where he does that fucking weird twist thing. It was more of an elbow like that, I believe. But he landed that and knocked Stoltzfus out, got the win. So, yeah, great fucking fight. Probably what I would give fight of the night is this or the Tomar fight. And And yeah, Bruno Ferreira knocked out Dustin Stoltzfus in round 1. I know you're shocked. But yeah, I got my lock of the night right. I did sweat a couple bullets when he got taken down, but he survived and got up and got to KO, so yeah. I'll talk about Brunno first. That's the Bruno Ferreira fight. Go to war and let's see who goes down first. And in a fight against Dustin Stoltzfus, Bruno Ferreira was not going down first. Let's be honest now. So yeah, this was another quick, easy win. They've given him now 2 quick, easy wins, and let's see if he can. Let's see. I think it's time to give him another tough fight. So, like, it's crazy that this dude debuted against Gregory fucking Rodriguez. Like, that's still insane to think about. Now he's fighting Phil Hawes and Dustin Stoltzfus. So, but I think he does deserve to get another good fight after this, because now that is 3-1 in the UFC, 2 first-round KOs. Let's give this guy a good fight. And I don't think he's gonna fight Bo Nickel like his call out, because that would go pretty bad for him. But yeah, I think he deserves a pretty fun fight. I will actually try and give him a fight idea on video, because I think that could be a good fight idea for him. So. But yeah, not really much else to say. Great fucking knockout. And then for Dustin Stoltzfus, it's Dustin Stoltzfus. He fucking sucks. And I don't know what fucking light bulb went off in his head to tell him, yeah, let's go fucking punch for punch with Bruno Ferreira. Fight IQ, top tier. Yeah, he'll like, the UFC will either feed him to another good fighter or give him a can to beat up in his next fight. So yeah, not really much else to say. That's Dustin Stoltzfus. He sucks. Only thing left to say now is who should Bruno Ferreira fight next. There's some options out there for him. There's definitely a couple options out there for him. You can give him a lot of guys, because middleweight's like very intriguing right now. There's a lot of people needing fights. Who could he fight? Roman Kopylov would be really intriguing. Yeah, I don't hate that Roman Kopylov fight. That'd be pretty fun. He could beat up Paul Craig if he wanted to. Edmund Shabazian, he could knock out. But I like that Kopylov fight. I think that's a very intriguing fight. Those two would fucking have a war, and I think that'd be a really fun fight. So yeah, I'm down to see Bruno Ferreira and Roman Kopylov. That's what I'm feeling right now as I look at this, as I went down every name on the list. So yeah, let's see it. Roman Kopylov and Bruno Ferreira. Who would not want to see that fight? So let's do it. Right now, that's what I'm feeling. So let's do it. Bruno Ferreira, Roman Kopylov. Book it, UFC. That's a banger. Yeah, not really much else to say here. Great win for Bruno Ferreira. Looked great. Got a quick knockout in a fight he should have got a quick knockout in. And let's see what banger he has next. So, all I'm left to say is who should he fight next? I like him versus Roman Kopylov. Why? Because if you know Roman Kopylov, if you know Bruno Ferreira, that's a banger. So, let's get booked. Not really much else to say. Quick, easy win. Lock of the night. Locked in, and what's a cool way to say it? The lock passed? I don't know. Stoltzfus couldn't break the lock. There you go. And yeah, not much else to say. After that, we head to bantamweight for a very intriguing fight with how it went, as we had Raul Rosas Jr. versus Ricky Torcios. Well, this fight went how I expected it to, but it still had a couple of twists and turns in there. In round 1, the fight started, and Ricky, for some reason, came out like an asshole. He fucking didn't touch gloves, and he tried to head kick fucking Raul, and I guess he yelled "fuck you" at him afterwards, which is just bitch shit. Like, dude, when people do that in the fucking video games, people get hate. So don't do that in real life. You're in fucking again. I'll talk about that at the end. Yeah, he did that bullshit, and then he pissed Raul off. And Raul started beating him up, took him down, beat him up, took round 1 from him. I don't know what the judges were watching. Round 2, much of the same. He took him down, and eventually he locked in the rear naked choke. And got to tap. Karma the bitch, Ricky. And Raul Rosas continues the hype train and gets another W. Yeah, Ricky deserved this for being an asshole. You fucking don't glove touch. You try and head kick him. You yell "fuck you" at the kid when he's done nothing wrong. Like, Raul has literally, like, unless I missed something, he never talked shit on Ricky. He never was mean to him. He was always respectful. And Ricky was being an asshole for no reason, so I don't get it. If you're pissed off that this fight didn't happen in Mexico a couple months ago, get over it. Raul couldn't fucking control that. So, like, and I'll talk about Ricky first, because that shit was childish. Like, I don't know what the fuck, why Ricky became a little bitch in this fight, but it's like, what are you upset about? Like, again, if it's the Mexico shit, the dude, Raul didn't control himself getting sick. He got sick. What do you want from him? So, I think that was pathetic by Ricky Torcios, and I expect better. So, yeah, you deserve to fucking lose. And the crowd did start a "fuck you, Ricky" chant, as they should, because you disrespected a kid for no reason. A literal kid almost, for no reason. So, yeah, just pathetic. Truly pathetic by Ricky Torcios. And then to talk about everyone's favorite ugly motherfucker, Raul Rosas. Kid's good. Kid's getting better. We didn't really get to see his striking here because he really didn't want to strike here, but why would you strike when Ricky Torcios can't stop a takedown? Just take him down and win, so. And the biggest test of his career so far, Raul passes with flying colors. So, we'll see how he builds on this. Not very much to say. It's pretty much just the only things to talk about are the fucking the beginning of the fight and the takedowns, and that's about it. So, yeah, good one for Raul Rosas Jr., man. He looked really good. Kid, the ugly motherfucker, has some talent in him. So, yeah. Only thing left to say now is who should they fight next? For Raul Rosas, there are billions of options. Like, I might not even give him an idea right now, because I would have to really think about what the fuck the UFC is going to do with him. There are literally hundreds of options you could do with him. Like, you could have him fight anyone from Cody Garbrandt to fucking Cameron Stamann. Like, there's so many fucking options for him. So, I don't know if I'm giving him a fire deal right now, because that would take a lot of time that I don't really want to waste, because we're already an hour and 21 minutes in to the bitch. So, again, you can give him really so many options, it's insane. So, we'll see what the UFC does with him. I don't think they're going to fast track him right now. I don't mind him and Cameron Stamann. I think that's a kind of intriguing fight. But do you really want to do that to Cameron Stamann? I don't know. So, but, yeah. No real idea for Rosas at the moment, because I'd really have to look and try and see a great idea. Nothing popped out to me right there when I did a quick scroll through of the names. So, I don't know what I don't even know what the UFC is going to do with him, what the UFC is looking to do with him. Do you give him a boost up in competition? Do you give him a boost that's still on the same wavelength? Because depending on what the UFC wants to do, there's 100 options, so. Yeah, I could see them doing him and Cody Garbrandt. That's a pretty big fight. That could be a co-main, or that could be like in the Sphere or whatever the fuck. Like a co-main of a fight night, of course. So we'll see what the UFC does with him. He'll probably be in Fight Ideas tomorrow. Just right now, again, nothing. I don't want to waste a lot of time looking for an idea that I might not even get. So we'll wait and see. So yeah, simple as that. Let's just wait and see. So, but. Besides that, great performance by Raul Rosas, and Ricky got what he deserved, so no fight idea sadly, but yeah, great stuff by Raul Rosas. Karma's a bitch. Now time for the co-main event of the evening, the best moment of the card, the thumbnail of the video for a reason, a feel-good story that you love to see, as we have in our co-main, Dominick Reyes versus Dustin Jacoby. Dominick Reyes is back. So happy for Dominick Reyes, man. Long story short, the fights happened. They did some trading of shots. No one really landed that good until Reyes hurt Jacoby with a shot. Had him on wobbly legs. Dropped him once. A little more nice. He threw another flurry of punches. Eventually landed one more good one. Sent Jacoby down. And that was it. Dominick Reyes won a fight. Holy shit. So happy for Dominick Reyes, man. Like, I'll get right into it. I'm so happy for this dude. Like, it would have really sucked to see him get cut and, like, fucking lose and get cut. Because, like, think about, like, 4 years ago, he beat John Jones. Think about 4 years later, he would have lost to Dustin Jacoby and got cut. Like, that's insane. But I'm happy for I'm happy for Dominick Reyes, man. I think we all are. Like, I got the pick wrong, and I don't care. I'm just happy for Reyes, man. He deserves it. He deserves to win. He deserves to stay in the UFC. It would suck to see him go to PFL or some shit. It would suck to see him turn into the new Marlon Moraes or some bullshit. But nah, he turned back the clock and got the win, man. So I'm happy for Dom Reyes. I think we all are. And 34 years old, Dominick Reyes is back, man. Light heavyweight just got a little more interesting. And then for Dustin Jacoby, thank you for making Dominick Reyes look great. And let's see what you do in your next fight, where I don't got much to say. Thank you for making Reyes look great again. Only thing left to say now is who should Dominick Reyes fight next. No idea for Jacoby. There's so many options for him in the rankings. I'm seeing most people say Anthony Smith. I don't hate it, but Smith has to fight Glushkov in my opinion. The memes are right there. So that leaves not many options. These two are fighting. He's booked. Clear Roundtree? I don't hate that idea. I don't hate the Clear Roundtree idea. I think it could work. So let's do it, I guess. Either Roundtree or Krylov. And I think Krylov is a little too high. So yeah, I guess Khalil and fucking Dominick Reyes would work. Is there anyone unranked that he could fight that would make any sense? I doubt it, because light heavyweight is shallow as fuck. No. Yeah, there's no one he could fight unranked, because no one's good. So yeah, I guess him, Clear Roundtree would make the most sense. Give him a nice, like, yeah, I know the main thing is, well, why are you trying to fucking end Reyes' return so quickly? He could, if he gets Roundtree on the right night, he could win. So yeah, let's see how far Reyes is really back. Let's see him fight Clear Roundtree. Roundtree fucked up the Jamal Hill fight. Now he has to fight Dominick Reyes. I like the idea. Let's do it. Hit either Roundtree or Krylov, in my opinion. So, we'll see what happens. Again, no idea for Jacoby, but yeah, not very much to say. So happy for Dominick Reyes, man. Happy to see the man back in the win column. The former champ, the John Jones stopper, he's back. And he just made light heavyweight a little more interesting. Let's see if he can go on another title run. Never know what could happen. We've seen crazier shit in MMA. Dominick Reyes is back. We'll see him versus Clear Roundtree. And now, time for the lame event of the evening. Not going to say much on this because there's not much to say. In our main event, we had Nasruddin Imavov with Jason Herzog versus Jared Cannonier. Not much to say. Cannonier was up going into round 4. It was a decent fight, but Cannonier was clearly up 2-1. Or you could even say 3-0 going into round 4. In round 4, early in round 4, Imavov did rock Cannonier, hurt him but never dropped him. Was trying to finish him, but Cannonier was able to evade the strikes and recover. But for some reason, after Cannonier was pretty much recovered, Herzog stepped in and stopped the fight, which is one of the worst stoppages I've seen in a long time. So yeah, yeah, this should be overturned to a no contest because Cannonier did not get knocked out, but the MMA commission, the UFC, etc., won't do shit. So, yeah, Jared Cannonier got fucking robbed, and Nasruddin Imavov can pretend he beat Jared Cannonier. So, yeah, not gonna waste much time on this. The only thing for Imavov, either you have him rematch Jared Cannonier as you should, or you feed him to Brendan Allen. I don't know what else he can do. He can call out Izzy and Strickland, all that all he wants. He's done nothing to earn that fight. So, either feed him to Brendan Allen or have him fight Cannonier again. And actually, like, if he fights Cannonier again, then he actually has to beat him. You can't fucking get gifted a win, a pretend win. So, yeah, bullshit way to end the card. Really a stain on the card. And, yeah, Imavov sucks. But he'll get beat. He'll get beat soon. Like I said, in a Cannonier rematch, he'll lose. Because they make it a 3-rounder, he'll lose. Or feed him to Brendan Allen, which I think is what you should do. So, yeah, whatever. Either way, Imavov sucks. Jason Herzog, I'm not mad. I'm disappointed. Boom. Though that was the card. And that's the recap. To go over how I did on picks, I went 8 of 14, 6 perfect, 6 30. Yeah, I only got 5 wrong. Jacoby, I'm happy for Reyes. Baeza just sucks. Andrea Lee fell off a cliff. Castañeda was a bad pick. And Eduarda Moura is a flyweight, who hopefully in her next fight. So, yeah. Pretty good night of picks. To only get 5 wrong out of 14 fights, that's pretty good. The bonuses went to Raul Rosas Jr., Bruno Vieira, Zach Reese, and Carlos Prates all got performance bonuses. If you give Dominick Reyes a performance bonus, sure, I agree with everything. How Dominick Reyes did not get a performance bonus, I don't know. But UFC is going to be the UFC. I think Dominick Reyes royally got fucked out of a bonus. So, yeah, I don't know how you give Raul Rosas one, but not Dominick Reyes, but whatever. Complete bullshit, but it's the UFC. I don't expect much. And you don't expect much, and you're still disappointed. And the only thing left to say is, if you missed the card, what would I say you should rewatch? Actually a good amount. I would say Tomar, that fight was really good. You could skip this. You could skip this. This. You could skip this, probably. Skip. Definitely watch this. And that's your choice. God, don't even waste your time. And then, of course, you watch all of these, and then you could skip the main event since the ending is just fucking garbage. So I would say if you missed a card, you should rewatch Tomar, Prates, Reese, Friera, Raul, Reyes, and then honorable mentions you could watch. Marcos was not terrible. Klein was not terrible. And I guess these 2 fights are not terrible either, so. But yeah, you pretty much watched the middle of the main card, Tomar and Prates for sure, because those were the best fights on the card, so, yeah. But, yeah, not really much else to say. This card was pretty good. Couple weak points, like the main event ending in bullshit, and a couple fights were pretty bad, like Puna and fucking Katona. But we actually got some finishes. This card was 10 times better than 302. And this is the card we needed after 302. So, I'm happy with the card. Yeah, the main event leaves a bad taste in my mouth. But it's the UFC. I don't expect much. So, yeah, this was a fun card. And a fun way to head into an Apex card next week. Oh, joy. Yeah, next week's card is in the Apex. But no, I'm not gonna get into that spiel. I'll talk about that next week. But, yeah. Next week we head to the Apex. You'll hear me break down Alex Perez versus Tatsuro Taria. Friday, 1 p.m. EST. That card's okay. I think the order is what really makes it look worse than it is. But I'll talk about that on Friday as well in the breakdown. And you'll hear me recap it, hopefully, next week, 1 p.m. EST. It's probably a normal fight night, so it won't be ending at crazy late pay-per-view time, so I'll probably be able to get a recap out on time, so yeah. Not very much else to say. I somehow talked for an hour and a half when I really didn't want to, but I can't fucking stop rambling, man. But, imagine if I did fight ideas for every fight. Fuck. But, yeah, not very much else to say. Besides, I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed the card. Hope you enjoyed your Saturday. And, let's head into another fight week. So, yeah, not very much else to say. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 100 subs goal by the end of 2024. And unless I'm forgetting to say something, which I don't know if I am, as always, RX out. Good vibes only and always.